Welcome back to another episode on Journey to Authenticity, the podcast designed to help you become your true authentic self, create a clear vision for life, and ultimately step into a journey of transformation. I'm Braiden Belnap, a transformational life coach, author, speaker, and entrepreneur, here to help you transform those limits and ultimately create the life that you deserve. That of mine this week was all about Easter. What if walking in alignment with a God, universe, whatever you want to call, feels so out of reach? This podcast is specifically about Jesus, simply because that's what I believe, that's what Maeghan believes, and that's what Easter is all about, is the gifts that God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Ghost give us every single day of our lives. Now, if you don't believe in Jesus, this will help you get in alignment with whatever you believe. It's not to say that this is the right answer, this is the wrong answer. We're just here to help you really see how you can start to walk in alignment with Jesus or whatever it is you believe, so that you can become your true authentic self and create that life that you deserve. That in mind, welcome to the show, Maeghan.
Hi. I'm so excited about this topic because I am very passionate about being in alignment and following your truth in life and what you want and being authentic. So I'm really excited to talk about this today and then dive a little bit deeper and inspire people.
I totally agree with that. It's crucial. It's not just an idea. It's not just this thought process. It's a way of living that makes you live a better life. I mean, Joe Rogan often says, live your life as if you have a camera crew walking around following you all the time. And I get that, and I love that thought process, but God's watching. The universe is watching. Karma is a real thing, y'all. It's a real thing. So why not put out what you truly desire? Why not put out what you truly want in life? Let's stop settling for our basic needs. God is good. He's just not here to give you water and food and a shelter and maybe some clothes. He's here to bless you. And he's here to bless you so that you can go on to bless others. When you walk in alignment with what you truly believe, you show up your true best self. You show up putting the best energy into the world, and that gets returned.
100%. And there's also doors that I feel like open up for you too when you walk in alignment, and that can be for anything. There's a lot of examples of people getting out of relationships or changing careers or, setting different boundaries with family members or friends and things like that. And by doing that, it's like one door closes and 100 doors open. And so when you're really in alignment with what you want and life and your goals, and when you truly look at that and you truly hone in and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to live my life, you truly do attract that kind of energy. I'm a huge person and I 100% believe in manifestation. And the energy that you put out there, it also comes back. And so like you said with karma, karma is a real thing. What you put out there does come back. And so that's why I also believe if you are a good person and you have good values, and you are confident with yourself, and you're also kind and generous and giving to others, I feel like that's also the energy that you attract as well. People naturally want to be around you. They naturally look up to you. They naturally see you as a leader, and they see you as a good person. But you should be doing those things. Don't do them for others. Do them for you because they feel good. So whatever feels good for you, figure that out and be in alignment with that.
Well, let's take a step back and let's talk about how we have been living in alignment. What's our stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because our stories is where we can show people that not only we can do it, they can too. So I'd like you to dive into your personal Jesus journey.
A Jesus journey.
And really show people not only that you're going along this with them.
Oh, and so for me, I am the type of person that I always have to live in honesty. If I'm not honest or anything or truthful or living authentically to me, it affects me. It truly does. And Braiden's laughing because he knows that that's true. Anytime I've tried to be a little sneaky person or anything like that, it always comes and bites me. So I have learned for myself that, you know what, I'm just an open book. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be authentic. If people like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. And it is what it is. Because I have learned that when I try to fake being somebody who I'm not, it's doesn't end well. So, or
it doesn't end well for you.
It doesn't end well for anybody, but I have learned time and time again that I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be me, and I'm not going to try to mold or shapeshift or do anything like that to please others. But in terms of religion and my walk of faith, so I was raised LDS, and that was,
for anybody listening,
it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's a branch of Christianity. There's a lot more beliefs and standards and teachings. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints,
they essentially took the Bible and then added the Book of Mormon.
Yeah. So Joseph Smith is the person who, so like kind of like the backstory really very quickly of the LDS Church is in the LDS religion, people believe that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the restored gospel of Jesus Christ when he was on the earth. And so there's just the temple, there's the Book of Mormon. There's a lot of other things too that a lot of other Christian churches don't believe in, but the belief is that this is the full gospel of Jesus Christ that has been brought back onto the earth, and it was taken away during a certain time period. And so that is the faith that I believed in for a majority of my life. It actually is very recently that I decided to leave the church because it just didn't align with my beliefs anymore as a person. And I'm not saying that as a positive. I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm just saying that me as a person, there's a lot of things and a lot of questions and a lot of stuff that just didn't add up in my head. And I made the ultimate decision that it wasn't for me anymore and that I am going to be a non-denominational Christian moving forward. And that was a really hard transition for me. And I feel like a lot of people who have left the LDS faith can relate to that in some sense. And I even think people within the religion can relate because everybody has questions no matter what religion it is. So you either get the answers that help you feel more aligned with it and have more faith in it and have a bigger testimony in it, or you get answers and it does the opposite. And so for me, I did the opposite. And so I made that decision for myself because that is what I wanted to do for me, and that's what gave me the most peace. So that's kind of like a very short version of my beliefs.
Absolutely. And for me, I didn't grow up. I grew up taught. You get out, you give in. You get back what you put out into the world. We prayed on occasions, the Thanksgivings, the Christmas. We would read about the birth of Jesus Christ on Christmas Eve day. And at a point where I went through my we had the major transition as a family when my parents got a divorce. I had a major transition when I transformed my life from simple drugs, petty theft, to transforming into on the outside, and then really diving deep, transforming on the inside. Getting into sales, starting my career, really starting to develop a level of success, yet there was a part of me that still felt something was missing. I first started looking at Christianity. I started reading the Bible here and there. I started to go to different churches. I started to pray more every day, at least once, yet I still didn't feel like I knew. I mean, I grew up not learning about this stuff. So just to take something for face value, because that's what everybody says in Utah is right, didn't feel authentic to me. Like this part of the world believes in Buddha. This part of the world believes in Hindu. Like, just because I'm born here, traditionally speaking, naturally I would be a Christian if I was to choose a religion, because that's just the most prominent. Here in Utah, I'm more likely to be a Mormon, which is LDS, than any other religion. I didn't just want to be this specific denomination, I believe in this specific thing because all of these other people told me to. Like, I genuinely believed and wanted. I'll emphasize, it wasn't just a belief system, it was a want. I didn't want to just believe in something because other people told me to do so. So I took a step back, going to churches, reading the Bible, and I learned about the 12 different major religions. Don't get me wrong, now those facts are kind of molded. I certainly want to do more research on them, not necessarily because I believe in them, but I feel like it's good to understand different cultures I think it makes you more cultured as a human being and more relatable, because you can sit down and have a conversation about somebody else's beliefs. And that's a really important thing, especially because I love traveling. I would love to go travel and talk to the Buddhists in other countries and really be able to have a conversation about their beliefs and my beliefs and how we connect with one another. Nevertheless, along that journey, it was very prominent that Jesus was true. Absolutely. The Bible is the truth. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's just that feeling, right? After wrapping up, learning about the 12 different major religions, for me, even really taking the time to study the LDS church as well. And I separate the Christianity and LDS together because it's one of the same, but it still has a lot of differences. And through that, it was just very prominent. Like I say this is Braiden Belnap's opinion. I'll emphasize that. But through learning about the 12 different major religions, it simply came down to most of the denominations were started because they were a part of this church, decided they didn't like it, so they started their own. Or this guy had a revelation saying that this was the only truth and then started a church. That's how most churches have been started. For me, Jesus Christ equals historical events of what actually happened, the truth. So I'm not banging my buck on somebody else. I just want to go straight to Jesus, and that's the Bible.
And that's why I like a lot of non-denominational churches, because I feel like you really go and you just learn about the Bible and you learn about Jesus.
It is the Bible. It's what they keep it to what the Bible says. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love the non-denominational. And then again, we're not here to speak what's the truth, what's not the truth. This is my truth. This is your truth. And it's okay for you to live your truth. In that, the prominent importance is that it doesn't matter what denomination you are, believe in something. Statistically speaking, it really doesn't matter what you believe in. As long as you believe in a form of God, you are statistically will live a better life. Statistically speaking, any addictions that you may have, you are more likely to overcome your addiction believing in a God over somebody that does not.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you can also, like, let's say you're an atheist, because a lot of people, it's like God, universe, higher power, whatever. A lot of people, unless you're 100% atheist, still believe in some sort of bigger energy power out there, that we all come from something bigger. So, like atheists, it's like, okay, obviously you don't believe in God, you don't believe in an afterlife and those things. But if you can believe in something greater than yourself, that is going to help you in life be more successful. So I just wanted to touch on that, because if we're wanting to talk about beliefs and that kind of stuff, that's something like we're not saying like you need to believe in God and you need to believe in this, but it's believing in something greater than yourself so that you have a greater purpose than just your life. You want to make an impact for yourself and for others in order to create the life that you're destined to live and make the impact that you're supposed to.
But that's the underlying belief, right? It's the psychology 101. Beliefs create your thoughts create emotions create behavior creates results. It's this everlasting cycle of life. And you're either going to choose to opt out of certain cycles to opt into new ones, or you'll choose to stay in a cycle. And that cycle can be serving or non-serving. That's why, traditionally speaking, if somebody's poor, they'll usually stay poor. If somebody's in drugs, they'll usually stay in drugs. If somebody's into whatever, they'll usually stay into whatever. If you don't like a result that you're getting and you believe in something higher than yourself, you're able to put more faith in there over living in fear of what if this, what if that. Your brain is in survival. Like, we came from running from lions and all of those things.
And now we're scared of spiders.
It will go. Hey, there's no way cavemen were not scared of spiders. Those things are freaky. Nevertheless, your brain goes to worst case scenario or best case scenario. So when you start to flip the script, start to think bigger, start to think brighter, start to genuinely lean into what is possible, your brain goes to the best case scenario over what if I fail, because that's what's going to be on autopilot if you've done no personal development, or even if you have done some personal development, haven't gone to transform all your limitations? I want to ask, what if I succeed? What if this does work out? If you're an atheist out there, ask yourself, how would I show up today if I did believe in God? It's not saying you have to, but how would you show up differently if you did?
And I think it goes to the victim versus victor mindset. When you have a victor mindset, you're seeing a greater picture. When you have a victim mindset, you're thinking of the world as this little small thing and you're the center of it when you're not. And so being able to be in that kind of victor mindset of saying, hey, I'm in control of my life. I'm going to do this. These are my goals. These are this is my purpose. This is my reason. This is what I want to do. This is the impact that I want to make. That allows you to have that bigger picture. It allows you to have that bigger perception of life and of your goals and of your impact. And so something that can get you into the victor mindset very quickly is believing in something bigger than yourself, whether it be God, universe, Jesus, whatever that may be, Buddha, Hinduism, whatever. But try to figure out what aligns with you so that you can think of something bigger than yourself, so that there is something greater than yourself that can help you get into that mindset with the snap of a finger.
So let's pivot, right? I mean, Easter Sunday, obviously God is good. Jesus is good. So many things to be grateful for. I've definitely sinned plenty times of my life, so definitely grateful that Jesus gave it up for us, right? I don't know why you're laughing, but the reality is we're sinners. Like, we're not perfect.
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear the sin part, so I was like really confused, and then it clicked that you said we're all sinners.
Yeah, we're all sinners. Jesus died on the cross for us, and that was a gift. Period. End of story. So the question is how can we start to align ourselves on a day-to-day basis as individuals, as a couple, in order to walk in alignment with God? I'll let you go first on that one.
The first thing that I would recommend for people to do is figure out what your values are. So figure out your core values. What did you say? They're core, and then what are the other types?
So there's core values and there's vehicle values.
Okay, that's what it is. So people need to find their core values and then their vehicle values. And then within that, then you can expand that into goals, or, you know, if you're trying to figure out your faith and what religion you want to be a part of, you can expand it into that. But my first recommendation would be to figure out what your values are so that you can align with that. Because that's the meat right there.
Absolutely. And as far as that's a podcast in itself. But finding your core values and your vehicle values, a core value would be something like love. A vehicle value is what gets you there. So, for example, family, having a boyfriend, girlfriend, getting married. There are certain vehicle values that will get you to your core value. My core value, one core value for me is transformation. It's a major one. It's my purpose. I can be in one thing and love it. If I'm not growing, I will not find satisfaction in it. What's a vehicle value to get me there? Coaching. I love coaching. But it fulfills my core value of transformation because it pushes me to be better and it allows me to be better for other people. So really dive deep. We're not going to dive deep into that podcast today, but I would encourage you to look at other podcasts where I've talked about values. Go search on YouTube. There's plenty of resources out there to help you build your values. My suggestion, I think that's a great suggestion, but I would say start with the end in mind. If you don't have a clear vision of where you want to go, who you want to be, you're not going to get anywhere. You might stumble, you might fall, you might get stuck. And sometimes that's okay going through this journey of life. But if you stay there long enough, you may just get stuck. It's okay to go on a journey. It's okay to get lost. Always have a direction. For example, if you're on a mountain and you're going up and you're trying different trails, that's fine. You're still headed in the right direction, which is the peak, the top of the mountain. But if you don't have at minimum a compass, you could be going in circles for days and just get lost. So start with that in mind. What is that? Is that a specific result? Like one of my end in minds is getting baptized, actually reading the Bible. So one end goal, read the Bible from front to back in full. Get baptized. Go find a church. Go to church 3 times a month. Like, these are some end goals that I can be working towards. Now, what are the sub steps? Well, right now I'm reading a child's Bible, and I'll own that because it's allowing me to better understand the Bible from front to back and get a basic understanding of more of the Bible and get my answers to my questions answered. That didn't make sense, but I know you know what I'm saying. So that's a step to getting to then the Bible. We're starting to go to church often. We're trying different churches. We're trying to find our church, our home, to say the least. That's a step to going to church 3 times a Sunday at the same church, to build a community, to build those relationships, which then will lead to getting baptized. So start with the end in mind, and then you can start to set these other standards per your day. Praying twice a day. That's a standard for me. So again, what is that end in mind? How do you want that to look? How do you want to build and walk in your relationship with God? What does that actually look like? And then what do you need to do every day to do that? Those steps are reading 5 pages of the Child Bible per day, praying morning and night, and then as I go throughout the day, at least listening to one podcast. That may not sound like that's walking in alignment with God. It is to me, because it's allowing me to better my craft, better speak, better podcast, learn skills to where I can implement in my coaching. And that allows me to be a better person, which will naturally allow me to walk with God more purely.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I feel like it puts you in that energy space of being able to receive things from God as well, receive those like inspirations and ideas and promptings, I feel like, to help people. There's been times where, we were driving home from the grocery store and we saw this person on the side of the road with a suitcase, and she was like struggling hardcore. And we are not the type of people to just like pick people up off the side of the road. But
maybe not you.
Never alone. But
we shouldn't be making jokes like that, Megan. We're on a Christian podcast. Just kidding.
But I'm just trying to put that into perspective. Like, this is not something that we would just willy-nilly do. Like,
It's not that we wouldn't. It's that we wouldn't go out our way to do it if they weren't asking.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't have just like gone up to somebody and been like, like, unless I feel like I'm supposed to. And so in this specific situation, we were driving home from the grocery store and we saw this woman on the side of the road, and we drove past her 4 different times because I was trying to fill out if we were supposed to pick her up or not. Like, I was trying to listen to
not necessarily pick her up. It was offer.
It was offer her support. So, but that support ended up being us taking her to a hotel and paying for her to stay there for a night because she didn't have a place to stay. So that was an opportunity that I feel like, because we were in alignment with our core values, because we were in alignment with God, and we were also willing to be kind of a funnel to receive those answers, to receive that inspiration as well, that we were able to impact somebody else's life and be that hand of God, if you will, in that person's life. So by being in alignment, it allows you to be able to be open to that's kind of an extreme scenario, but scenarios like that of where you can be an answer to somebody's prayers. You can be the hand of God in people's lives. And if you're not in alignment with that, and you're, let's say, I like to say victim mindset. If you're sitting there just thinking about me, poor me, my life sucks, it's horrible, blah, 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 blah. You're not allowing yourself to be open to being able to have those experiences to help other people. But by being in a headspace of being a victor, and I'm in control of my life, and I am confident, and I'm in alignment, and I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I am open to being able to be the hand in other people's lives to make them better, you are allowing yourself to be in a different energy space to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, I called it essentially intuition. Is what it's called.
That, yes.
But I'm going to put a different word on it, and it's the ability to make a decision. When you know where you're going, why you're going there, you know your values your vehicle values and your core values that will allow you to get there. Your intuition is much more brighter. Your intuition is a lot more stronger, and you're able to make decisions more prominently. Because when you're faced with a decision, whether that's, hey, should I eat this healthy treat or this sugar treat? If you know that you're trying to get a six-pack, you're going to go for the healthy treat. If you're deciding whether you should go out to eat on a weekday because you're stressed over making dinner, maybe you'll make the actual decision to eat at home because it's healthier. You'll at least make it a healthier decision when you do go out to eat. When you know exactly where you're going, why you're going there, you know your values, you make decisions more effectively and quicker. So for this example, we knew where we were going. We want to get closer to God. We want to find our church. I want to get baptized. We want to go to church more consistently 3+ times a month. We want to do these things, and we want to act more in accordance to God. When we have that intuitional hit, whatever you want to call it, we don't question it. It's like, yes, this is what we've been working towards. Let's do it.
When you're also allowing and inviting that in too, like you're opening yourself up to be able to receive those answers or those feelings or the emotions and the intuition into you. Like you're like a funnel.
Absolutely. With that, in summary, thank goodness for Easter. Like, it's such an amazing holiday to celebrate the gift God and Jesus Christ have given us. Go all in. Like that, this would be my last message. As I summarize this, go all in. Whatever you believe in, go all in. Don't be 1 foot out, 1 foot in. Like, if you're going to have 1 foot out, then just be all out. You're not going to live it anyways. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect before you commit. What I'm saying is commit. Keep your word to yourself. Keep your word to others. Do your best and grow. That doesn't mean that this journey is going to be perfect. But when you have that end in mind, you know exactly what you want to accomplish when you're in alignment with God and Jesus Christ and what that looks like for you in your own individual life. You create those core values, or you figure out what your core values are, your vehicle values. You start to schedule to pray, to do your personal development, to go to church, to read your Bible. Whatever it is for you, you'll start living every day as your best version of yourself. Again, that doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but it's going to mean that you're in alignment with that. And in alignment, you could go a little off path as long as you're headed in the right direction. That's what matters. At least you're not headed back. Mm-hmm. So lean in, go all in. You can start that alignment journey today. It doesn't need to wait till tomorrow. You can make that decision now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And really, like, step into your power. Don't be scared of what other people think, what other people want, or anything like that. Like, truly step in your power and make that decision of what you want to do. Lean into your truth. And like, especially me coming from the LDS faith, it was a very hard transition for me to come out of it because it is such an involved religion. And so when I was making that decision, I was like, oh my gosh, well, what is so-and-so going to think of me? What is this? People have known me like this my entire life, and I'm making this decision. And I was scared for a while of making that decision for me because I didn't want other people to look at me differently and to think all of a sudden I'm this different person when I'm not. I'm the exact same person that I was in the religion that I am out of it. And so, like, do as personal experience of something that I have been through. Don't allow other people to dictate your belief system, whatever that looks like. Choose your belief system for you. And whatever that is for you, like me and Braiden personally, it's Christianity. And I am a Ride or Die Jesus fan. I've been very close to Jesus my entire life. And I have a very strong testimony in Jesus as well. And so I really, really want to encourage people and inspire people to step into that truth, step into being authentic, step into alignment, especially when it comes to religion. Because when you're not, it really, I feel like, impacts you negatively. So that's my last 2 cents. But thank you for having me on. I feel like this was a really fun episode, and I'm excited to be on more episodes. But I hope that people were able to listen to this and learn and take something from it and be able to put this into their lives and truly be inspired.
Absolutely. With that in mind, thank you so much again for joining us to the Journey to Authenticity podcast today. If you liked what both myself and Maeghan had to say today, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. This will help for us to consistently be better as individuals for you guys, but it'll also help me to get the most interesting, highly qualified guests to help come on and transform your life. Also, why I have you here, we're talking about alignment, walking in alignment with God and really going all in. And that starts with you. My book, The Code of Transformation, came out earlier this year. This is my journey of aligning with my life. This is where these 7 steps came from that allow you to transform your life. So go grab your book today, the link below, and this will help you step by step get in alignment with God, get in alignment with yourself so that you can create that life that you deserve. That in mind, have a good one, everybody.